So, alright, this is the other video I was planning on putting out. I just did the review on the patch. It's an hour long and ranty. This is probably going to be an hour long and ranty. Warning. This is also my opinion, and from my style of play, I am primarily a survivor player. I do play demon. I am primarily a survivor player. And remember that this list is going to be based off of generic gameplay. This is not going to be solo queue. This is not going to be in a stack. There's going to be some variation, and I do feel more strongly about some builds than others. Let me start on the demon side. There's 4 demons. Let's preface this by saying the demon role is the power role in the game. Without a doubt, you cannot argue that. Demon role is significant. Demon win rates are absurdly high outside of going up against pre-made 4 stacks on comms. Pre-made 4 stacks on comms are still winning like 80% of their games. Outside of that one caveat, even 3 players on comms with 1 rando, the win rate is less than 50%. So demon players, y'all out there complaining, like the demon players out there that complain about survivors being overpowered, if I hear y'all complaining, y'all are trash at the game. Yes, the survivor is the easier role in the game to play. Yes, the survivor controls much more of the power, because they dictate the flow of the game if you think about it. But, I'll break that down in a second, but survivors have to work together, and the survivor player base in this game is trash. 90% of the survivors in this game are utter dog shit. 90% don't use their mics, which is understandable if you're in party chat with somebody else. But solo queue survivors not using their mics is egregious. If you're in solo queue, even if you don't want to say anything, you could be in game chat listening, for the few people that actually are. Most people make their builds wrong. I am still seeing warrior builds that are talking about, oh yeah, you don't want to build into damage outside of devastating force at all, because your job is supposed to tank hits. No, it's not. Your job as a warrior, you are the melee damage dealer. That's your whole fucking gimmick. Just because you have extra health and the damage reduction. Most of these damage reduction abilities aren't worth it. You're spending 3 points here for 10% damage reduction versus spending 3 points here for 20% damage. Which one is more significant? Because that damage reduction is not, oh, well, you can stack damage reduction. Again, it's not significant enough. Or the people that say Artful Dodger only needs to be put at 1 for the extra dodge. There's no benefit to the other ones. That's not the point. You get your having more stamina left over means you need less stamina to recover, you know? Or on the demon side, people making shitty builds. Let's go to Puppeteer. Because Puppeteer is one of those controversial ones. Some of these abilities, like people saying, oh, you don't need to put points into Head Start because you're not really an energy-based killer as Puppeteer. No, fuck you, you're wrong. You are an insane energy-based killer. Because you're going to be playing around your puppet power anyway. Okay, but when your puppet power is on cooldown, you still have to possess regular units. What are you going to do? Spam portals and let the AI kill them for 80 seconds while you're on fucking cooldown? No, this is a great ability. Starting because you're a rushdown killer. You want to rush survivors at the start of the game. You have to spend energy. The Demon Vision one, seeing people doing Demon Vision builds is bullshit. So, most people get their builds wrong at the start of the game. They don't work together, or they don't team comp. Example, on the survivor side, you need a support every single game. It's not about the healing. It's about the carrying of extra items. Because Cheryl's a bad example, as is Pablo. I'll just pick support Ash, because he's your starting one. All of the spawn with an amulet and a cola. And they can spawn with 3 colas. That is significant. You are spawning into the game with extra resources that the developers have nerfed away from you. Understandably so. Some maps are much better for resources than others. You need a support just to counter early game rush. Like, these abilities right here are necessary. And again, I see prominent YouTubers, I will not name names, that keep saying, you only need to put Packing Pop at 1. Or you don't need Packing Pop at all. They'll put like 1 point into it to get access to industrial strength, which again, they won't even put industrial strength at 4. When this tree right here is your core support tree that every support needs to have. You need Shemp Plus Max because that's your primary way of healing. First Aid, I can understand not maxing that, but if you can spare the points for it, there's no reason not to. Both of these are necessaries for that early game rush counter. Industrial Strength is really good for making you tanky. So again, the fact that the Survivor side sucks, and the other thing too, the Survivor side is ultimately what dictates, because outside of DCing, which both sides can count as a win condition, what does the Survivor have to win the game? The only way the Survivor wins the game is by completing all of their objectives. There is no alternate win condition besides pissing a killer off. What do they have? First, they win by time.